Good morning, Farmer Jason here at Wave Fruit Farm. We're back to doing our Farmer Jason Wave Fruit Farm videos here. I apologize, we didn't do a very good job this fall of keeping these going. To be brutally honest, to quote the movie Groundhog Day, where it just seems like it repeats, that's sort of what our falls do. But I'm gonna show you a little bit of that. They're absolutely crazy. We are starting to finally get caught up. And so I wanted to come back and I wanted to do a Farmer Jason video. So right now it's early in the morning on a late October morning. It's a beautiful day out. It's early in the morning. The sun's just starting to rise behind me. It just could not be a more beautiful day. I think the weather's gonna be beautiful for the rest of this week through our weekend, which is sort of like our last big weekend of it. You can see behind me, the mountain is in full color, if you can see in the dark here. And so we are here at Wave Fruit Farm. I'm gonna show you sort of in this video what our daily activities are in the fall. And so right now we've already started our morning activities. We've been going at it for a little while here. We start early in the morning and we go all day long. And so it's just part of what fall is. So as I said, I do apologize for not doing more of these videos. We're gonna start getting back to them. We're gonna start doing them more regularly. And we really appreciate you guys watching them. Actually, we appreciate you guys and everything. Throughout this whole pandemic, you guys have all stuck with us. It's been amazing. You know, it's been such a weird year, and it's just been an odd life that we've all been living the last little bit. And so we've tried very hard to A, keep everybody safe, but B, keep you fed, keep you healthy, keep everything going. And it's been quite a challenge. It's been a lot for everybody, I know. And so we just want to take a second and say thank you for supporting us. We've had a good year of selling you guys everything that we grow, and even all the things that we don't, but we get locally. So we've had a wonderful time selling you all of the fruits and the vegetables and the meats and the cheeses and the cafe in the back. And now that we're into pumpkin and apple donut season, we've had a wonderful time doing those. So it's been an interesting moment. 2020 is not one that we'll forget easily. And we just want to say thank you, for coming out. We had a wonderful fall here. We've been able to keep people safe, but we've also been able to do things where we've done our little mini festivals where we've had people out picking apples, picking pumpkins, and we've had some great food vendors here. So it's been a wonderful time. One of the things that I want to say is, as we keep going forward, as things keep getting even more crazy, we love doing this because we love connecting with the community. In so many ways, we connect with the community, through our sales, through our discussion. And, in these times that seem so polarized on everything, we're just grateful that we have a very broad-based community that we love and cherish. And so we love you all. No matter what happens here going forward, we need to stay united as a community. We need to stay united as people. And so be it disease, be it politics, be it anything else that's going on in the world right now, I think one of the most important things is we have to remain connected to everybody around us and not become isolated. And so we're going to keep doing that. The videos will hopefully help with that. And so we're going to show you our day here at Wave Fruit Farm. We're going to start here in the packing house, and we're going to go pick a lot of apples. All right, as I said, we'll go into more detail later down the line, but what we're doing now is we are sorting the apples off the table. So the machine weighs each apple, they come down through here, and then we're able to get them on the table, and we're able to sort them off of there. And so it just allows us to better size the apples and make sure that we have the correct apples that we want. So that's the first thing we're gonna do here today, is we're gonna run a lot of apples across this, and we're gonna make sure that we have enough apples for the sales room. All right, the other thing that we're doing is Fidel. You guys have all met Fidel many times. Say hi, Fidel. Hi. So you guys have met Fidel many times. He's my cider guy. He makes almost all the cider that you drink here at Wave Fruit Farm, as well as he bottles it. So right now, he's in here. We made a bunch of cider when it rained yesterday. And so now what he's doing is he's getting in the bottles, and we're putting all the bottles on a pallet. So we'll get all the cider we need for the day jugged up here early in the morning before we can see to go out and pick apples. All right, the other task that we do in the morning is we get in here and we make sure that the store is all set up. And so we're starting on that process. We're not done yet. We get in here, we make sure that all the bins get sorted out, get refreshed with brand new apples. And so I joke, it's like the little elves come in and restock the store here first thing in the morning. And it just at least We'll sell a lot of apples throughout the day. We'll have to keep restocking, but at least we start off with everything full. And so we just like, so the mornings when it's early before we can go out and pick, it's all about just making sure that we can get everything ready so that we have enough for everybody throughout the course of the day. Sorting apples, filling cider, getting the store stocked up. So that's what we're up to right now. So that's what everybody will do as a group, and I'll help with that process. But then my next task is to put all of the apples away. So we'll show you that with the forklift. All right, so here we are. We're out at our bins of apples that we picked yesterday. I have a few Fujis here, and we picked a lot of Golden Delicious. Just a lot of very, very beautiful Golden Delicious apples. Just gorgeous apples. And so we have a lot of bins of them, and then I've also got some more over here that were on the trailer that are now back. And so we need to get all these in the cooler. What I like to do is normally, whenever we pick apples, what I like to do is I like to leave, we bring down the trailers, and I'm gonna show you all this. This is where we're going. We bring down the trailers, and I like to leave them sit outside overnight if it's not too hot, because what it actually does is it helps us conserve some energy. When I leave them sit outside in the fall here, a lot of times the days might be in the 50s, 60s, 70s, but the nights drop down almost to freezing. So what it does is it helps us conserve energy, because Mother Nature will cool those apples down for the first night. Then I throw them in the cooler, and we don't have to use as much energy to cool them down. So I normally like to do it very first thing in the morning. Today, in the beginning of the video, I showed we were sorting apples, we were filling cider. Then I had to run up top. We had to move a couple wagons around. I'll show you where we're at now up there. And so now I'm just getting back to getting this done. And it took me a little bit longer than what I wanted, but it's still not super hot out, but it is getting warm. So I need to get these in the cooler. So we're gonna come in here. I was moving some stuff around in our cooler. We have our big cooler here. And so right now it's quite full of apples. And so we're gonna stack them up with all the rest of these. You can see how high the apples go. And they need to go in this spot right over here. So I'm gonna move out the apples. These are Golden Delicious that we have sorted. I just put the apples that I'm sorting in front of the rows, and I'm gonna stack them up right in here, and hopefully they all fit. I didn't count them yet. So I'm gonna strap you to my little head cam with this camera, and you guys can watch me zoom them in and out. And it just takes a little bit of time, and you gotta get them stacked just right so they don't topple over. So that's what we're gonna be doing, is we're gonna bring them all in here in our nice cold cooler. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to take our apples inside. So we're gonna grab a bin here. Normally I carry them by twos, but I need one single one to make the stack work. So we'll grab it. Now when I pull into here, what we have to do is we have to make a wide turn so that the apples will go in straight. Now this is 3. And we'll go up to 7 high up there. So the top ones get a little bit more interesting to put up. Also too, we're using the plastic bins, which are a good bit easier to use than the wood bins. The wood bins don't click together quite as well as these. So far they've been clicking in right as I drop them. Chances are one of them won't. Sometimes they like to put up a little bit of a fight, and we have to push them into spot. All right, we're going up higher. And if you watch, you can see how they just click right. Oh, yep, see that one just needs an extra. There we go. All right, last two to go all the way up high. All right, so now these are the last ones we'll be taking up. I'm gonna get this single one out of the way. And we'll take these and put them all the way up top. So this is always sort of more interesting when you get that high with this much weight. It's always sort of an interesting venture. All right, let's see as we put this all the way up. I start lifting it as I'm pulling in, and I finish lifting it as I get here. Oh, not quite. Oh, there it goes, it just dropped in. So that's how we do it. So that's 7 bins of Goldens in that little bit of time. I still have to put the rest that are in there in front of that, and we'll just keep going like that. So this is the part in the mornings that we get done. And now we'll go up to pick apples. All right, Farmer Jason here. Now we're up in the orchard. And what I'm actually doing is we finished with one set of Golden Delicious, and I just moved the tractors over to the other spot, one of the tractors, and now I'm heading back to get the other tractor. So I'm walking through the orchard. Sometimes it's the easiest way to do it, and it's a beautiful day out here. The trees behind me are just absolutely gorgeous, and it's actually hot, and you would think hot might be okay for picking apples. I still have some apples hanging here on the trees. These are a variety called Evercrisp that I won't pick for a little bit yet. And you might think all this heat is good for the apples, but it can actually make them softer. So as much as it's enjoyable to be out here at the end of October wearing just a t-shirt, it's not necessarily the best thing for the apples. It'll make them want to get softer and overripe much quicker. The apples that ripen, like right now where we're picking Golden Delicious, they don't like that heat. They'll get softer much quicker. So we're working really hard here today to try to get all of them off before we get to this, before we get to a spot where they're gonna want to get soft. All right, so I made it to the other tractor. We had just finished out a row of Goldens over there, so I only have 2 of my bins full. The other 3 are empty, and actually this one's only part full. So I decided rather than taking it down and unloading it, we're just gonna move it over to the other orchard. So I'll show you sort of once we get in there how you have to drive the tractor. Driving with a wagon this far behind you is pretty hard, and then especially we really have to sneak into a tight spot on the far end. So when we get over there, I'll show you how we're gonna sneak in. All right, now we're heading into our orchard here. I have it geared down a little bit because we're gonna have sort of an interesting fit. Now, as you watch, what I've gotta do is I've gotta go way past and then swing myself through the gate. And that way my trailer follows, right, misses the gate. And then I gotta do the same thing on this side where I've gotta swing hard to come up the hill. And we start marching up the hill. We're going for that top row of trees. Now, unfortunately, we planted it sort of far back, not realizing how hard it would be to get into it. And so in these other rows, I moved them back a little bit. But on this row, we've got to swing it really tight to the fence. I'm gonna hit the trees here a little bit. We're gonna actually have to hit this tree. Hopefully we don't break anything on the tractor. Then same thing, kind of swing it hard to where we just missed the post. and we can watch our wagon follow behind us. See, we've got to swing it hard enough that it comes by there. So that's how we get the tractors in. These are golden delicious also, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here, and that's where we're picking apples. All right, so now we're in the other orchard. I'm gonna climb up and move this tractor forward. You can see Fidel right out my window, up the ladder, picking apples. And the wagon's starting to fill up behind me. And so we just keep moving the tractor with the apples. So Fidel and Pablo are in front of my truck now. Tractor picking the apples, so we'll go by them. And what we'll do is we'll make them towards the end of it. Now the hill up here is pretty steep, so you might notice the tractor's starting to lean a little bit. So far it's not horrible. As we get up here a little bit further, the hill gets a little steeper. And it makes you kind of hang on. And so this is what we're doing. This is fall. Moving from one set of apples to the next set of apples. Unloading the bins, getting the bins in the cooler, getting the bins sorted, getting the bins out for sale. And so this is what we keep doing all fall long, is we just keep repeating this process. And so we're gonna go more into depth because there's a lot more to talk about, but you can see how some of the trees just have such beautiful apples in them. You know, this is what you do it for, is to come out here on a beautiful day. You know, I love being in the orchards. As much as I love being in the store with all of you guys, I love being in the orchards. I'm gonna get up here top of the hill and I'll show you sort of the trees that are going on right now out here. And you know, you can see all the apples I'm walking by. So we're gonna keep going through. We're gonna keep picking all these apples off. It's not that much longer, we will be done. And let me spin you around and we'll just show you the beautiful landscape we have right now. You know, perfect, as I said, almost too warm fall day, but a perfect fall day. Good day to pick apples, get them off before they get too ripe, and we're just gonna keep rolling along this way. Now there's a lot more on tractor driving, on the apple picking. We'll probably go more into detail on all of those coming up in some future episodes as I have time here. In the fall it is busy, so that's why it took us a while to get this one in. But we love doing these. We love seeing you guys. We hope that you're all doing well through Corona and everything else. Come, enjoy a few apples, get some cider, some apple donuts, and we'll see you shortly. Thanks for watching.